This Leafs prospect is poised for an incredible career with the Toronto Maple Leafs. We'll get into this and more in this episode of Hat Trick HQ. But before we hop in, I just want to say that 88% of you guys aren't subscribed. So if you're enjoying this daily Leafs and NHL content, make sure to go down and hit that subscribe button. But we'll hop straight into this, with this prospect being Fraser Minten. Fraser Minten was drafted by the Toronto Maple Leafs in 2022. He was drafted 38th overall in the second round. He stands at 6'1", 185, and he does play center. When you look at his career in the WHL in 2020-2021, he put up 4 goals and 14 assists for 18 points in 20 games. The following season, he put up 20 goals and 35 assists in 67 games. And this year, in the previous season, you could say he made a huge jump with 31 goals and 36 assists for 67 points. This guy was drafted in the second round by Kyle Dubas when he was with the team. He's a center. Being 6'1", he isn't the biggest guy, but 6'1", if you can put on a bit of weight onto him and get him up to closer to the 200, maybe 205 weight, this guy has all the tools for what it takes to be a great center in this league and with the Toronto Maple Leafs. If we want to look at the stats again, 31 goals in 57 games just does showcase the fact that he can score. He can pass the puck with 36 assists in the 57 games. You've seen he still took his 55 penalty minutes, plus 24. In the playoffs, he did put up 4 points in his 10 games. And just last year, he put up 16 points in 17 games in the playoffs as well. This is a guy that kind of slides under the radars. We see our guys like Matthew Nyes. We have Niemela. We have guys like this that are slowly making their case. They're making it to the Marlies. We see Nyes take this next jump, and now he is playing with the Toronto Maple Leafs and should be a full-time guy with them as well. But we see these prospects that aren't really talked about, and this is one of these guys that I'm super high on. You can see that he can score. He can pass the puck, and just overall his game is developing really well. So there has been some reports that recently came out from the Traverse City Prospect Tournament this past weekend, and when we have a look at it, Fraser Minten, 6'1", 190, left shot. Minten was arguably the Leafs' best player on the first day. The 6'1", 190-pound forward was involved in the play in all 3 zones and emptied the tank on every shift. He had some bump to his game, battle along the wall to extend plays, and venture to the net looking for rebounds and tips. Minten was used in all situations. He blocked shots in the defensive zone and had a shorthanded breakaway in the second period. In my opinion, he played with most detail and complete of any Leafs player. So when you look at this, he played on the line with Matthew Nyes during this tournament. This tournament is still going on. If you Google to the Traverse City Prospect Tournament, you can see the link, and there is a game tomorrow against Detroit. If you're watching this on Saturday, you can watch that game there. And just overall, he's been so impressive. You've seen them say he was overall the best player, and this was on a team with Niemela, who was there, Nyes, who was his teammates. This is just, it's showing you the praise that this guy is bringing. And when you look at the second one, I thought Minten was outstanding. Not only on the ice, but I thought he was great on the bench. Positive and made sure guys were still engaged and part of it. I was really impressed with his leadership skills. So when you look at this, not only is it saying he was the complete player at the tournament, he was giving it, he was going in the corners, going in front of the net. They had him on the penalty kill, the power play. They did ultimately lose this game against Columbus. But overall, just seeing all this hype and all these coaches talking so good about a guy who's playing in the WHL right now, it just gives you so much of a promise with this guy, especially with the leadership at such a young age. He recently wore the A when playing with Kamloops, but during some preseason games, they did let him rock the C on his chest as well. So maybe this is foreshadowing him going into this coming season with the captaincy. Who knows with this? But when you look at such just a prospect coming up through the system, he's showing leadership at this age. He can pass, he can score, he can play the penalty kill during this tournament, he's played the power play. He's just developing all aspects of his game, and this is a guy that I think will make the AHL next season. Maybe we'll see him at the end of the season with the AHL team now, maybe going into the playoffs with the Marlies. But this type of player, I could see making a jump very quickly into the NHL, maybe as a third-line center. And projections are saying he could be jumping up to a second-line center. So when you look at his overall game, like I said, the leadership, I just can't talk about this guy enough, where it just shows how outstanding of a player he is. And he kind of just gets put on the back burner of not many people are talking about him. Everyone's with the Matthew Nyes hype, the Niemela hype, the Alex Steves hype. Just these guys on the Marlies are just slowly making the leaves with the Nick Robertson hype. But this is a guy that within the window of this Matthews playoffs, we have Matthews, we have Marner, Tavares, and Nylander, who is still not signed. But with these four guys, no matter what the time span is, if we have four of these guys under contract, the Leafs are going to be competing. They are going to be pushing for the Stanley Cup. And this is the type of guy that I could see in 2 years' time come up and make this massive impact, where he could hop onto this third line, fill the role of Kampf when he's gone. Or if Kampf is still here, slide him down to the fourth, and we just fill in this perfect leadership role from a young guy onto the third line, put a couple vets around him, and just take it to the next level of getting these small deals where people outperform these deals. I can't talk about that enough. But with this said, we will get into everyone's favorite part of the video, which is comment of the day. And the comment of the today comes from Steph, who said, Treliving gets Zadorov. I can't talk about this guy enough. Zadorov is a guy that I think the Leafs do need to get. Ultimately, I think they do need to make the call on him. I think they will get him. And I think he makes this impact on the team. And if we can extend him an extra 2-3 years and just have this 6'6", 250-pound behemoth running around on the Leafs blue line for 3 more seasons, I would be so happy. But if you guys enjoy this, you can leave a like or subscribe. If you have any questions, you can put it in the comments. We love reading this. It really means a lot to us, just seeing everyone enjoying this content, just interacting and just commenting on other people's stuff. So please keep that up and take care.